Hello, everyone. Welcome to another ranking. Today, I am ranking the Wrong Turn franchise films. There are currently 6 films in this franchise, and there is a seventh film possibly being made. And it's going to be announced possibly for 2019. So, hopefully, that comes out, and I look forward to that. But if you're not familiar with the Wrong Turn franchise, it has to center around a family of cannibals and their torture of um, people in the West Virginia and Virginia backwoods and whatnot. And so far in the franchise, like I said, there's 6 films. Uh, 2 of the films are prequels, um, but I really love the first film, and I just decided to watch the whole series, seeing that there were actually more films in the series, and I actually enjoyed quite a few. So, without further ado, this is my ranking of the Wrong Turn franchise. Coming in number 6 is Wrong Turn, The Last Resort from 2014. That is the newest one and the worst one in the franchise. I found it to be really bad. I didn't like the story. Uh, the characters I really didn't care for, most of them anyway. The only characters I really cared about were some of the returning cannibals in the franchise, and some of the kills were cool. But overall, this is the weakest in the franchise, in my opinion, and one that I watched, but I really didn't enjoy. And if you were interested in watching the series, I would say, yeah, you'll need to watch it once, but I wouldn't recommend watching it again unless you really wanted to. But I don't think it was that good of a movie. Uh, Coming to number 5 is Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines from 2012. These next few films were direct to DVD releases, but this is one of the films that I liked. I believe this one and 4 are the prequels, if I'm not mistaken. And I love this film. The cannibals you see um, are basically from the first film, and uh, I love the kills. The kills in this film are really unique and actually kind of smart in a way. It's kind of clever. These kills are, but again, I stress if you're not a fan of gory horror movies, and some people call them torture porn horror films. I don't like that term. I think that's just stupid. But uh, then you don't want to watch this franchise along with some other movies. But in my opinion, I love this franchise. I love these horror films, these cannibals. Although I don't like the scenes where they're eating people, but at the same time, they're really interesting. And like I said, the cannibals in these films are the most intriguing characters, except for 2 of the films, which I'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, Bloodlines, Wrong Turn 5 is really good, and I really recommend that one. Number 4 is Wrong Turn Left for Dead. This is from 2009, and uh, this film was okay. Um, I thought it would be better than most of these sequels. I was hoping anyway. Um, but still, it's a good watch. It's not. Uh, all these films from 5 to 1 are ones I really enjoy, really like. And this is a solid sequel, albeit it came out before the next one that's in my top 6 list for this franchise. But this film is awesome. I really enjoy it. I really love this franchise. I don't want to spoil the movies if you haven't seen them. But I highly recommend watching this film as well. Um, it's a great watch. There's not a lot of well-known actors in most of these films, but at the same time, like I said, I love the cannibals in this film, and yeah, definitely check this film out. But it comes in at number 4 for me, in my opinion. Coming in number 3 is Wrong Turn: Bloody Beginnings from 2011. Uh, I believe this to be another prequel to the first film, and you see a lot of the cannibals from the first film in this one, especially the mom and dad. Actually, more so the dad and his sons. But regardless, this is another gory film, but the kills of this film are phenomenal in my opinion. I really enjoy uh, the torture, although it is a movie. It's not, I don't want that in real life for Pete's sakes, but for entertainment value and for movie, this is really good in my opinion. And I enjoyed this film a little bit more than the previous film, Left for Dead, which is why it's a little bit higher. But for the 3, 4, and 5 spot, I could probably switch all of those around into different spots. And like I said, 5 through 1 are the ones I enjoy the most. And I also recommend this film. I recommend all the films 1 through 5 in the ranking. Like I said, 6, you may want to watch just one time because it's really not a good movie. But yeah, Wrong Turn: Bloody Beginnings from 2011, number 3 on my list, and it is a very good film. Coming to number 2 is the original Wrong Turn film from 2003, starring Eliza Dushku, and this film is the one that got it started. It is a really good film. It's not as gory as the other films, and the story is really good. This guy is on his way to a new job and is forced to go through the backwoods because of a traffic jam. And he actually runs into the car of these other kids that are stranded because some barbed wire got into their tires. Of course, it was a trap by the cannibals, but not known to them. But before all that, though, this movie opens up with a couple who are rock climbing and are basically snatched up by people we don't see, and they are killed. And then, like I said, the main guy in this film is on his way to a job and actually runs into their car. And so they hike down the road to find a gas station, find a phone. Of course, they passed just the one that was there, but he didn't have a working phone. He had a map, but he was incognito with the cannibals. He's probably actually one of the brothers, but more a little bit normal than the other deformed ones. But regardless, these kids are basically picked off one by one. There's some good kills in the film, and I really like this one. But there's another film in the franchise that I think is the best, and yeah, that is my number 1 film. It is Wrong Turn 2: Dead End from 2007. Henry Rollins is in this film, and he kicks ass in this film. Basically, this film is about people who are playing a game for a TV show. They're left out in the middle of the woods to fend for themselves, and they need to find different things out there, whether it be food, water. But if you trip an alarm or something, you have to find your cure or your antidote for your life to be saved. If you don't do it within a certain amount of time, you are dead and you are off the show. And of course, in this film, there's nude scenes and the same old spiel you get with a lot of these movies. But this story is phenomenal, and the cannibals in this film are badass. It's mom and dad and their 2 children, and of course, the two children are inbred; they're sleeping together, but the kills in this film are phenomenal. The story is great. Like I said, Henry Rollins kicks ass. The characters in this film are a hell of a lot better than some of the other films, besides the cannibals. But uh, overall, this film is by far the best in the series. It was released to theaters, as was the third film, I believe. The other films were direct to DVD. The third film could have been direct to DVD too. I'm not quite sure, but the first two films were released theatrically. And this series, for as far as box office, with the three films, it grossed just over 50 million combined with the three films. Like I said, the other three are direct to DVD, so there's no sales involved there. But I really like this series, and I really hope they come back with a better movie than we got with the sixth film. Although some people will say that these are just the same old films, that they're boring and just torture porn. But in my opinion, I love this series. With the sixth one, it's bad. But I've seen it a couple times. But that's only because if I'm watching the series, I've got to watch all the films. But I always dread when the credits roll at the end of the fifth film, because I know I gotta watch the sixth film. But overall, this series is very good. It's different, and like I said, some of the kills in this films are badass, and they're really, really unique. And yeah, it's just a really good series. So definitely check it out. If you've seen these films, give me your ranking of them in the comment section below. If you've only seen a handful, maybe one or two, then let me know your ranking of those. If you only like one of the films, let me know which one you like, and let's talk about this series. And if you like this video, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and please share my video with friends and family, and let's talk movies. But until next time, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next ranking.